Welcome back to Season 2 of Sailing Sitka. We are Jay and Kenna, two young Canadians who stepped outside the box of comfort and decided to act on their ambitions of sailing around the world. We first set sail from Victoria, BC, Canada, and have been adventuring around Mexico ever since. In this season, we'll be sailing on, further south and closer towards our dreams of exploring everywhere the sea touches. So sit back, subscribe, and enjoy the ride. Last week on Sailing Sitka, we sanded the portside hull as well as Sitka's waterline, in which we are raising 6 to 12 inches higher. This in total took us 2 days with 2 people sanding continuously above their head for 10 hours straight each day. This week, we continue this madness onto the starboard side so that we can get Sitka ready for a fresh coat of sapphire blue paint. But first, let's address some weakened areas under the waterline that need our attention. Plus, this gives our poor arms a rest for a short while at least.
Alright guys, so we're just finished rinsing off the boat and it's pretty much dry now. Anyways, it's dry in the areas that we need it to be dry. So we're not going to start sanding the starboard side just yet because our shoulders are absolutely dead after 2 days of just sanding non-stop. So we're going to switch gears a bit just to give us a break to our body. And what we're going to do is Kenna's going to come down with some acetone and a rag, and I'll be right behind her with unthickened epoxy, and we're just going to give a quick coat of epoxy on all these blisters that we sanded down. So like here's one of them. They were really just surface blisters, like it didn't really go through much layers. That was one of the deeper ones, and if you come close, like I don't know if you'll be able to see, but like it's like maybe a mil deep. Like it's really not, it's very sacrificial considering the hull at this here is probably like over an inch thick. So but it's good to address them. So what I'm going to do is put unthickened epoxy over all of them, and then here I'll show you the rudder here. There's like 2 of these that are like deeper, as you can see in here. So these are going to get unthickened epoxy first, and then we'll put a bit of fairing compound just to fill the hole a bit, and then we're gonna put some layers of glass. It would be better to fan this out more, but I know that like at some point in like not too many years, we're gonna take the rudder completely off and do a full job. So I don't want to spend too much energy on this, but we're gonna make sure that this water doesn't come in this season. So it might be there might be a little bump here, so it might not be as aerodynamic, but we'll try to ferret it out as good as possible. But the important part is it's going to be completely sealed. And then on the other side, there's none that are like that penetrate as deep here, so it's really only on the port side that we have these issues on the rudder. But if you hear, you see how it's more dull right in the middle, but like right close to the hole, it still sounds really good. And there's no issues on here, so that's good. And the rudder's good. So
What else is good?
my love.
Oh my goodness.
Good. And now guys, we're like hoping that the water truck comes. So there's this truck that comes, normally it comes every day.
It's like the ice cream truck, but for water.
And we're like, we don't have any water. Like we're 3 liters left. And
yeah, that little jug.
Yeah. So we don't have any water to like do anything, like to
survive or
cook,
do dishes,
drink, or anything. So if water truck doesn't come today, we're gonna have to walk. It's not too far there, but
about 8 years away.
It is still pretty hot. It's a lot cooler today though, guys. A lot cooler. It's probably like 35 Celsius instead of like 45. So it actually makes a huge difference though.
When we were in the boat without AC before Clay and Uni lent theirs to us, it was around 50 to 55 degrees Celsius inside the boat, and I'm not even joking.
No, it was absolutely gnarly. Like everything made out of plastic was like melting. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. And we'll show you guys what we do there.
Is your name O'Neill?
Yeah. O'Neill.
Say good morning, Lolita. Say good morning. Oh, that must be nice. Hi, baby girl. Day 4.
Day 4.
With Lolita?
And Lolita's like, we gave her some water, so hopefully she drinks it.
So all right.
So yesterday you saw us filling some voids and just giving a coat of unthickened epoxy, so it's all cured up. Didn't take long. There's the coat, so I'll just sand this up and put a couple layers of glass. Some of these deeper ones, I'll put a layer of glass as well. And then the surface ones I'll just scratch up for bottom paint. Just ordered some bottom paint too this morning to be shipped to Seattle to some friends of ours. They're nice enough to drive it down for us because they are leaving the Washington area in about a week and a half, so it's perfect because the paint gets there tomorrow, so that's sweet. So thank you guys for doing that because that saves our butts. Port side has been done for sanding, as you've seen the last 2 days, and now today we're moving on to the starboard side. So we're going to start at the bow and work our way aft. So we have the whole starboard side to do and most of the stern to do as well. And yeah, let's start ripping the decal on the starboard side off. And here's Lolita.
You ready? She's ready.
Lolita, drink some water. She needs to drink water. I'm concerned. She doesn't drink a lot of water.
No.
And then they do sell like bulk dog food here at Oxo. So next time we're there, we're just gonna grab a couple scoops for her. Give her a little bowl.
Yeah.
Because she's our yard dog. She's our yard dog. Okay. Crazy animals are coming out. We gotta start sanding.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments. Colored trees, your yellow leaves move me. Dancing roofs, your painted red shakes the room. When I get there, I'll let my feet roll. When I get there, I'll break in your arms, I'll lose control. When I get there, I'll know the answer. Let me know when I get closer. Winterland, you're my sailing ship. Guide me in when you head for your trip. Right out of this wicked black and into bright sand. Straight towards the warm sun and into his hands.
Day 4 in the boatyard.
Day 5.
Day 4.
We did day 4 yesterday because we said the first day when we got here and
Yeah.
did everything. So it would
Yeah,
be 5.
I guess it is day 5, but day 4 of boat work. The first day was just like getting stuff sorted.
We're going by.
But yeah, day 5.
Day 5.
Day 5, people. Stay tuned.
Oh my god.
Let's go. Day 5. Sorry. It's day 5. So yeah, we just gotta do this basically. So this whole part, top part paint, and then if you come look on the port side there, it's gonna look like this. So our water line used to be here, and now we're raising it all the way here because Sitka is quite stern heavy, so we ended up having growth and like bubbles everywhere here in the paint. So we're just gonna fix that. This basically like sits underwater up to here anyways, but then you know at anchor it splashes here constantly, so we're just gonna like eliminate. You see how all these bubbles, and that's because salt water was there too often. So now we're gonna raise it quite a bit past where the bubbles were to not have that problem in the future, which means we're gonna need more bottom paint than we used to, but less top part paint than we used to for the entire hull. Because if you look, you see how we raise the water line everywhere by minimum 2 inches. Well, actually that's not true. We raised the water line by way more than 2 inches because it used to be here, and now we're raising it like 6-7 inches. So exciting news, tomorrow we should be ready to paint the first top coat paint.
Woo!
And then yeah, this paint job, by the way, is not like gonna be like the craziest finish on earth. Like it's just single part polyurethane interlux, like pretty much the cheapest top part paint. It's just, it needed to be done, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the tow rail area before we do like the final paint job for Sitka, which will probably be all grip in the future when we dedicate a big chunk of money and time towards that project. But it's not something you wouldn't want to do a big paint job, like professional paint job, in this yard, because look around, like it's sand, right? So like plus it's hot and humid, and like the finish wouldn't be that perfect anyway, so there's no point of spending like $800 for a gallon of paint and then the primer and all that stuff. It would be literally to paint Sitka and all grip, probably like a $6,000 job just in material for us to do it ourselves, versus this paint to paint the entire boat will have cost us, if we factor in the paint, getting it here and sanding and material, probably like $1,000 to paint the top part, and then the bottom is going to be like another $1,200, $1,500 if you factor in everything. So like, and for the bottom we're using like very cheap paint too, ablative paint. So anyways, let's get going.
Can you film me? Today we're sanding. Cut. See how
it's exciting stuff.
Jay has some news for you folks.
Yeah, so while we were just sanding the last bit there on the stern, the refrigerator repairman showed up, and yeah, he was an absolute gem, and came on board and then like pretty much confirmed what we thought was the issue. But I mean, I'm no refrigerator tech by any means, that's way out of my wheelhouse. But from what we looked online, because our compressor was working, the fan was working, and the cold plate, the evaporator plate, which is like where it becomes a freezer, was getting cold. There was even a bit of ice on the bottom, but not what it usually is, and it wasn't cold enough to freeze meat or anything really. And then he was like, tested the system, he looked around to see if there was any oil leaks, because that would indicate a leak. He tested it with like soap to see if there was any bubbles anywhere in the vicinity of the compressor, and he couldn't find anything. And then when he plugged in his pressure gauges, he came to the conclusion that yeah, it was low, it just needed a little bit of a top off of refrigerant, which he did. Like it took about, I don't know, maybe 30-40 minutes of having this little can on it, and then tested the system, and yeah, we'll find out, I guess. He says it can take up to 48 hours. We'll keep you posted. Hopefully that's the fix. And it was pretty affordable. He was here for maybe an hour, and it was 400 pesos, which in Canadian is $32 Canadian. So yeah, pretty happy with that. He was super nice.
Oh, Sitka's going bye-bye. So we can sand the stern. Okay, we're finally done sanding. Thank freaking Jesus. I could barely lift the coffee up to my mouth in the morning. Now we are on to taping and prepping the hull for paint.
Yeah, so tape and final wipe with some thinner, 333 Interlux thinner, and then we'll wait for the temperature to go down a bit, so around dinner time we'll paint. So we got a couple hours here to just prep, and then it's going to be the first coat of the blue paint. So I will show you, this is what we're using. So we got 8 of these coat. So we were thinking that 3, maximum 4 per coat. So that should give us 1 or 2 cans of spare. So for a future, if we have like little blemishes or something, we can do a spot fix. It's not gonna look perfect, but Sitka ain't a showboat, she's a sailboat that we use and live on, so she'll be pretty. All right, let's get the taping.
All right, well this is what prepping looks like. Taping the tow rail and our new waterline here.
Yeah, and we're not gonna tape this coast strip. We're actually gonna paint it blue, and then in a week when it's fully cured, we'll just tape on either side and paint it white again, because it is recessed. So it's a lot easier to just paint it blue and then paint white over it at the end and tape on either side. Because like that's what I did last time I painted the boat in 2019. hard too because the boat's it's 1 degree to port. Like we can tell from inside on the 18mm too. But yeah, that looks decent, right?
I think so. There you have it. First coat, baby. First freaking coat.
Alright guys, well the stressful part's over. It's insane how quick that dried. So I think you saw how fast we had to hustle. Kenna was able to do the stern part. I think she was pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
But tomorrow we'll probably do it together. She'll probably roll until she gets tired and I'll do the tipping. Because it's so hard on the transition when you do both. And I think like Kenna doing the last part there gave her the confidence to be able to do it tomorrow. So
See you guys tomorrow.
yip, yip.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Stick around for more to come. If you enjoyed, please spread the love and let us know. Special thank you to our Patreon members for making these videos possible, as well as helping our dreams come true. See you all next week.